Okay, so first let's start off with I'm not one of those people who spends a lot of time looking at my own face. So as I'm doing this, I'm looking at my face, I'm seeing my teeth and other stuff, and it's kind of weird. There's a whole other guy that I'm not familiar with looking at that much. So part of what's going on, excuse me for the extra gesturing and whatnot. It's like, wow, that's what I look like when I say that. This is what's going on. Okay, so listening to the stuff that I did earlier, it's getting me on that roll where I'm excited about this and about this flowing through me. So I'm going to share some more. Um, Getting back to that, the hidden messages. So there's so much all the way through. And what happens is that because we're not taught in Hebrew and Greek, we're not taught in the original languages because of the way things are done. Like we have the King James purists, who I think I have problems with. I really have problems with, because although they're trying to be pure about this particular language, they're missing the roots of the original language and so many other things. And there's places where they make decisions based on their opinion on how things should be that shouldn't be made for other people. In short, there's a lot of information, a lot of warning about using force, about trying to manipulate people into salvation or into knowing Christ. And that's a constant path, it's a constant route, it's a constant tool of theirs to guilt you into wanting to be a Christian, and that was never supposed to be the case. The whole thing is about grace. It's about an unearnable, uncontainable, untouchable gift that is granted to you. For instance, the word soteria and the word salvation translates to soteria. This translates directly to shalom, and both of these words in the two languages mean completeness, wholeness, not your soul saved, your entire life. It's described, I think, in Deuteronomy, a person having a vineyard, an orchard, crops, fields, laborers, um, having full production and barns full, overflowing. Uh, so these measures are used in that description of the shalom and the soteria. They're economic terms, and they're economic terms that describe a level of wealth. And when we tell people, oh, it doesn't say that, oh, you shouldn't have that, you shouldn't want that, we're lying. We're misinterpreting what it says. And we'll get into some things that I don't like again about it at some other point. Let's get into what's good. So from Adam to Noah, there's a story. And I don't think that, I don't know if you know it, most people never hear it. So this is what it is. Every name has a meaning. Adam's is man. Seth, appointed. His son, mortal sorrow, or Shem. So I'll tell the whole story. So it's man is appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down, his death bringing rest. Noah's name means rest. Um, the entire story of the gospel is told in those first men's names. I'm going to say it again. Man appointed mortal sorrow. Blessed God shall come down. Methuselah's his death shall bring. Noah, rest. It's in the names. It was there from the beginning. And we're just not told these things. And when I hear them, like right now, my spirit is lightening as I hear it, and I internalize that. I hope it's helping you as well. Let's go to this. So sin, and I don't have my numbers exactly right because it's been some time since I've done these classes. Sin in the New Testament, I think it's mentioned something like 20, 23 times, something like that, maybe less. All of the times except for like two, maybe three, it's hamartano. It's an archery term. It means to miss the mark. And it doesn't mean to do it purposely. It has nothing to do with guilt. Guilt, in fact, is specifically not allowed in it because guilt pushes away from grace. One of my cousins on Facebook. So you were never designed to be guilted or to revolve or to wallow in guilt. And this is what's been taught in Christianity for decades. But it is the thing that destroys us. In the addiction cycle, which I'm intimately aware of, guilt is the driving force of addiction. It's the guilt from what has been done to us or what has happened that pushes us to hide from what we see emotionally and mentally, thereby using, drinking, driving too fast, fornication, whatever, into that addiction, which brings it back around. So when we remove the guilt, unlike what our other groups say we should be doing, we actually bring about healing, peace, rest, noach. There's a reason for that. So the other times that sin is mentioned, there's only one time where it's really like a guilt thing. The other times, it's a personality, it's a now, it's a person. Do not become again a prisoner to the person, the personality of sin. Run from the slave force that wants to drive you back. Not feel guilty about it. Again, so change your mind. Metanoia or metanaus. Meta is change, noia, your mind. Noia, your thoughts, nous, your mind. So when we repent, it's no crying, no slobbering, none of these other things are involved. It's saying, hey, that wasn't a good idea. Which can be done very calmly, very, very, very easily. When we do that, we open ourselves up to grace. You can't fall from grace, you fall into grace. Grace is unreachable, untouchable. And grace came in the person of Christ. So it's always there waiting for you. I could babble on, throw a whole bunch of other stuff together, but I want to go back to this one more time. So, again, Adam to Noah, the names. Man, Adam, appointed mortal sorrow. Blessed God shall come down, his death shall bring rest. Noah. Think about that. Meditate on that for a while. I'm going to post this up. Have a good day. My son's going to do push-ups.